Hello everyone. Sorry about having to do the voiceover, but looked like my mic quit on me today. So what I'm going to show you here is how to texturize your bowl projects using a chainsaw, little paint. I'm sure you've seen this before. So I'm just cleaning up this little bowl here, little example. Show you a little mahogany that I had underneath my bench. And I sand it to 220 grit. Didn't spend a lot of time on it. It was at lunch break. Alright, so I'm done sanding. I'm going to bring the chainsaw now. Give it a good whack. I'm just messing with y'all. We're not really going to use a big chainsaw like that. We're going to use a little carving chainsaw. Air powered. Now, I'm not wearing any gloves. And I'm using this pretty nonchalant. But this is a tool. And it's dangerous. And I've used this thing for 15 years. I know exactly how it runs. So take all precautions when you're trying something new like this. You don't want to get hurt. But what I'm doing here is I'm just basically hitting the outside of the bowl with the little chainsaw. Just putting some depressions in there. Random. This chainsaw carver, the faster it spins, the smoother it cuts. So I run it pretty slow. That's why I'm only using one hand with it, because I'm barely just tapping the surface. And then I'm going to fill this with black paint for this example. I have made bowls where I use gold paint and like a red dye on poplar. Um, Black, of course. I'd make a lot of picture frame. So I make a lot of picture frames using this method. People seem to like them a lot. I know my wife does anyway. It just adds some character to your wood projects. It's kind of gothic looking. You can use different tools besides the chainsaw. If you have some carving chisels, use different ones to gouge out the side of the boat. If you have some like rasps, they make a nice texture that you can fill with paint or dye and then sand it back and then put shine juice or clear or whatever you're going to use for a finish. Here I'm going to sand the paint back, take the outside that's standing up to raw wood so that I'll put some shine juice on later. I usually don't use shine juice, but it's what I had at the time. The paper towels rip on the texturing, get caught in there, and you're picking paper out of it for a while. Mahogany for doing this, not necessarily for turning bowls, but the wood itself is real pretty with the black contrast or gold or red, yellow even. But for bowl turning, it doesn't take a finish very good. I like using OB shine juice, and it usually doesn't shine up real great, but it does take paint in the grain really good. I really like using acrylics too. They fill the grain pretty well. You can mix colors, make like turquoise, some nice burgundies. A little bit about myself. We go through the boring stuff. 35-year master carpenter. My work has been featured in architectural magazines all over Texas. Built the main focal point in a $30 million cafeteria that we did for a Catholic school. 42-foot wall with a 5-foot diameter clock in the middle of it. Run basically any machine. I run the molders in the shop, shapers. I'll put up some videos later of some of the equipment that we have. We have some pretty interesting tools. We have a horizontal shaper called a hauncher that climb cuts. We make all of our own shaper and molder knives. We have a couple of guys that are master carpenters. One of them does carving. Anyway, so I'm sure everybody's seen shine juice being put on. I'll show you the end of the bowl here in a minute. So there you have it. All these ridges and places will catch color really well. So you can put dyes, paints, whatever you want to in there. You could dye the wood after you get done sanding it off. Here's a couple of examples. Picture frame, couple bowls that I did. Well, I hope you liked the video. Make sure and subscribe.